sword and my dagger. Kahala Yahweh. Hashem. Mashiach Yahushua. The soldier Ehud of the Battle Axes of the Most High. Coming to you with another fervent Friday as we walk into the Passover season. I pray everybody has been keeping the law, statutes, and commandments of the Most High the best of your ability, right? You know, I usually give 2 minutes for everybody to come on in. Passover edition. Trying to turn up for the Most High. Shalom, Akbar Talia. Good to see you, sister. Come. As everybody comes on in, Baba Kusha, like, share, subscribe. Baba Kusha means please. Like, share, subscribe, help spread the word of the Most High to the four corners of the earth. Shalom. Let's see. Shalom. Yapa, Sharaya, Adiva. A beautiful rib. Right? As we all get ready to go into our Passover, I know a lot of congregations do it at different times. Some do it on the dark moon. Some do it on the actual full moon. And all praise to the Most High for diligence and making sure that a righteous rehearsal is kept in the eyes of the Lord. Like I said, we usually give a 2-minute window for everybody to come on in before we get class started. The name of this week's class, right, by the grace and the power of the Most High, right, is Plagues of a Hardened Heart. Plagues of a Hardened Heart, right? That's what we're going to start out at, right? Shalom, Officer Barakaya. Shalom, Jehol Nathan. All right. In this class, it's going to be Plagues of the Hardened Heart. We're going to start out in Psalms 105. This is a really good read, Yasharala. This is a really good read. I get a chance to read over the 105th Psalm. It's a really good read, right? Start out because as of right now, you know we're going into Passover. And what led us into the Most High having to even go through what we went through was a hardened heart, the Pharaoh's hardened heart, right? Which he had no control over. The Most High hardened that heart so he could do what he was going to do to make an example to the other nations. Don't play with my children, right? Do not play. And it was a warning and an example, right? So we're going to go into it. We're going to start out the book of Psalms, chapter 105, and we're going to start out at verse 26, right? Matter of fact, I'm going to start at 25, right? Do I want 20? I want 23. I want 23 just to get a little clarity. Psalms 105 and 23. Israel also came into Egypt, and Jacob sojourned in the land of Ham, right? So when we call Egyptians or Africans Hamites, ding, 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 ding. Verse 23 explains this, right? We sojourned in Africa, right? We're not African. We sojourn, right? Because let's prove it. Let's just go ahead and prove it. And they'll say, y'all some Africans. Y'all some spear chuckers, right? The book of Exodus, right? Shalom salute. Officer Barakaya and Officer Yaakov, man. As everybody come on in, like, share, subscribe, help spread the word of the Most High to the four corners of the earth, right? Exodus 11:7. But against any of the children of Israel shall not a dog move his tongue against man or beast, that ye may know how the Lord doth put a difference between the Egyptians and Israel. There's a very large difference. But of course, our Caucasian captors couldn't understand that. So they just tried to lump everything in, right? Verse 24, and he increased his people greatly and made them stronger than their enemies. So again, it's showing when they be like, oh yeah, the Africans, those are people. Wakanda, whoop de whoop whoop. Nah. Now, is our people scattered over there in that landmass? Yes. But as a whole, they're going to call you an Akata, right? They're going to call you an Akata really quick, right? But it shows we were made stronger than our enemies, right? Verse 25, right? And if you want the precept for 24, it's Exodus 1:7. You want to write in your Bible. That's for verse 24. Verse 25, right? He turned their heart to hate his people. Who is the they? The Egyptians, right? The Pharaoh, right? Africans still hate us to this day. They'll call us African American. That's not us. When Africans come over here, they be like, I'm just African. I'm not African American. I'm not a Negro. I'm not one of them, right? They will really separate themselves really quick with no hesitation, and they don't care if they're rude or not, right? But it says, he turned their heart to hate his people, to deal subtly with his servants. So we were the servants of the Most High, right? We are those servants that he's referring to. You can get that in Isaiah 44:1 or verse 21, or you can go to Isaiah 45:4, right? You show we were chosen as well as the servant, right? He sent Moses, his servant, and Aaron, whom he had chosen. So this is where we get it started, right? We had to go over there and see about our people. So the Most High is not getting off his throne, right? So he sent over 2 mighty Levites, right? Yeah, they don't claim to be African Americans. I got another good little point for you. Have you ever seen a homeless Moabite or a homeless Amorite? We know Moab comes from the Asian Peninsula, you know? Have you ever seen, I've never seen that. I've never seen a homeless Moabite or Amorite, never. Out there doing hibachi on the street on some aluminum foil or something with a lighter. Never seen that. Oh well, right? That's just a little side token, right? So he had to send 2 mighty Levites into Egypt to deal with Pharaoh. Shalom like no other kind. Viva Ishakar, man. Good to see you. So we're going to get the historical fact because we're in Psalms right now, right? We're in Psalms. David was actually just recalling the miracles that was provided for the children of Israel. He was just basically going down the history, right? We're going to jump over to Exodus 3 really quick, right? To see where he was actually pulling, where he said he sent Moses, his servant, and Aaron, who he had chosen, to go into Egypt to deal with the Pharaoh, right? We're going to Exodus 3:10. And it says, come now, therefore, I will send thee unto Pharaoh, that thou mayest bring forth my people, right? Matthew 2:6, my people, the children of Israel out of Egypt, right? So he told them up front, you're going to get my people, bro. You're going to do this for me, right? Let's jump over to Exodus 4:12. Let's get a little bit more in regards to it, right? Because Moses has some concerns in regards to not being an eloquent speaker, right? So you jump up to 4:10 of Exodus. It says, and Moses said unto the Lord, O my Lord, I am not eloquent, neither heretofore, nor since thou hast spoken thy servant, but I am slow of speech and of a slow tongue, because he did not have the dialect in regards to speaking the Paleo Hebrew. So he may have stumbled saying, Ka halal Yahweh, Bahashima Mashat Yahweh Shabarakatah Yahweh. It may have been a little bit more because he had lived in Egypt for so long, he knew the Egyptian dialect. But as of the Paleo, right, he was having a little bit of issue. So he had concerns because he wanted them. At the end of the day, we all should have these concerns. Are you doing it right for the Lord? Are you doing it right? Are you giving it your best ability? When we was in the world, we gave it our best. You go out there, you wash that car, you sit out there for 4 hours, shining it, looking at it from angles. You know what I'm saying? People paint their house. They're out there looking at it, taking pictures. You know what I'm saying? Landscaping or basically setting their house up when they get it. They want it to be perfect. It's at this angle. Oh, when I come in the door, I don't like the way the couch sitting. We did it perfect for that. Let's make sure we're doing it perfect for the Lord, right? That we're taking that extra step. 4:12 reads, now therefore go, and I will be with thy mouth and teach thee what thou shalt say, right? That's what the Most High provided to Moses. Dialogue of understanding, you got this. You're about to do something so important that's going to basically kick off one of my most important high holy days. He didn't even understand the mission that the Most High was about to send him on, right? So he told him, look, I'm going to basically be with thy mouth, right? And I'm going to teach you what to say. Don't worry about it. Because even he told him, hey, take Aaron with you, bro. Your brother, he's a Levite. He got this. Y'all got this. Don't worry about it. Y'all got this, right? It wasn't a fear of, oh, well, the Pharaoh's going to kill me. It wasn't that fear. The fear was his verbiage wasn't going to be on point as he would want it to be, right? Let's jump over to Isaiah 50:4 to get a precept to go to the Exodus 4:12, right? And it says in Isaiah 50, chapter 4th verse, the Lord God has given me the tongue of the learned that I should know how to speak a word in season. It was his season. Coach was calling him in off the bench. It's your season. Go in. You got this, right? A word in season to him that is weary, his concerns, right? He wasn't spiritually strong at that very moment when he had that concern with the Most High, but he was a little weary. It's okay, right? It says, he wakeneth morning by morning, he wakeneth my ear to hear the learned, right? You can also get the precept to that in Proverbs 15:23. We're not going to go on that. We're going to stay right on point. So you can't worry about, and I had that same concern when they wanted me to start teaching classes, right, on Facebook. I had a concern of, what if I don't do it right? What if I go in and I don't put the precepts together right? I had a lot of concerns. I said, I don't want to disrespect the Most High, nor the congregation and showing me doing something incorrectly. But Most High put on my spirit, you got this, right? He had me take counsel from the leadership. Bro, you got this. It's not hard. You got this, right? So we're going to keep going in to how the plagues of the hardened heart came about, right? We're about to get into it. We're going to jump back over to Exodus 7:3, right? And it reads, well, matter of fact, I'm going to go to verse 2 so you can get a little understanding when the Most High explained the game plan, right? It says, thou shalt speak, and this is Exodus 7:2, thou shalt speak all that I command thee. So guess what? He's going to tell you what to say. You just say it. And Aaron, thy brother, shall speak unto Pharaoh that he send the children of Israel out of his land. In verse 3, I will harden Pharaoh's heart and multiply my signs and my wonders in the land of Egypt. The Most High said, I'm going to do this. I'm going to basically put him in a situation of a hardened heart. So y'all about to get a lot of rejection, but don't worry about that. You're going to bring the glory, my by you going here and giving, because Most High's not getting off his throne to go talk to Pharaoh. I just seen a commercial for some movie that they got on I think it's Amazon or Netflix, where they had the story of Moses, and of course they had the Edomite in there trying to play the Pharaoh, looking like pistachio around there, and he in the water, and it was just like the Most High came and spoke to Pharaoh and showed him a vision of Moses coming. Come on, man. Most High wanted you to be completely surprised. Let's cut it out, right? Let's cut it out. So when we think about it, he says, I'm going to multiply my signs and wonders. He's going to harden the heart. So it's three-part. I'm going to harden his heart and multiply my signs and my wonders in the land of Egypt. Moses didn't even know yet what was actually going to be brought forth by the Most High's grace and mercy, utilizing him as an actual advocate, right, for the power of the Most High. Let's go back to Psalms 105 and 27, right? Let's see a little bit more about these multiplying of these signs and wonders. We're going to 105 and 27, and it reads, they shewed his signs among them, right? Among who? The Egyptians. And wonders in the land of Ham, right? That's what actually went on. This is what Moses was basically commanded to do. And he was actually, I would say, put in the position to actually do this, because he knew Moses wasn't going to throw this off. He wasn't going to stumble when it came to bringing the word of the Most High straight to the Pharaoh's face, because he knew that Moses wasn't a fearful man. Did he have concerns on how he would sound? Okay. But was he afraid to go in there to say it? No, because he went in there with his brother. And guess what? We got a message from the Lord. All right? Got a message from the Lord. We're going to jump over and get a precept for that. They shew signs and among them wonders in the land of Ham. We'll get a precept with that, right? We're going to go to Daniel 4 and 3, right? And it says, how great are his signs, and how mighty are his wonders. His kingdom is an everlasting kingdom, and his dominion is from generation to generation, right? This is where Nebuchadnezzar had to give praise to the Most High, because he was going through it. He was going through it. He didn't know what to do, but he knew that the Most High was powerful enough to destroy him. But did he still have pride of a heathen? Yes, he still had pride of a heathen. So he still was going to try and do things his way. Let's go over, right, to see how great those signs and wonders were. We're going to jump over to Daniel 6 and 27. And it reads, he delivereth and rescueth, and he worketh signs and wonders in heaven and in earth. When did he do that? When we were in Egypt, when we were being basically taken through rigorous treatment by the Egyptians. These things had to come to pass so he could deliver us and rescue us, right? And work his signs and wonders in heaven and in earth, who had delivered Daniel from the power of the lions. So the same Most High who had the power to, when Daniel went down into the lions den, the lions weren't even hungry. They're sitting around chilling. Sitting around, could you imagine that? Just like if you had dogs or whatnot, and your dogs are sitting around, y'all watching TV or just having something playing on TV, and y'all just sitting around and they just chilling. They laying on the ground. They ain't doing too much. Y'all just sitting in there. That's what the Most High did for Daniel. He sent Yahushua down there to make sure those lions wasn't even on nothing. And those heathens were completely upset. Like, did you not feed him to the lions? Yeah, but lions ain't eating them, bro. What you want me to do? So these heathens have to go through these different scenarios to see it, right? Because right now the Most High is working these signs and these wonders in the earth. Blood moons, eclipse, all types of, they said trillions of cicadas are coming, right? A lot of these things are going to happen. We're going to get into that, right? We're going to get into the first sign and wonder that a lot of people, if you are in the state of Texas, in certain areas, may have witnessed or seen online, right? Psalms 105 and 28. He sent darkness and made it dark, and they rebelled not against his word, right? He sent that darkness, he made it dark, right? So when the Most High, let's just get it. When the Most High sent Moses to say it, see what he didn't say, oh well, Lord, how is it gonna happen? Right? He just trusted in the Lord. Exodus 10 and 22. And Moses stretched forth his hand, right? Matter of fact, get 21. And the Lord said unto Moses, stretch out thy hand towards heaven, that there may be darkness over the land of Egypt, even darkness which may be felt. And Moses stretched forth his hand towards heaven, and there was a thick darkness in the land of Egypt 3 days, right? 3 days. So those Egyptians were terrified because they got all types of they got the sun god. Sun god, they probably praying to him, cutting themselves, doing all types of foolishness, right? And guess what? Shalom, Akim, Abraham. They couldn't get Ra, right? I think that's the sun god that they worship over there. They couldn't get him to come out and play. Because the Most High was on the scene. So that's 3 days of darkness for them, right? And I'm going to get Isaiah 13 and 10, the precept with this, right? Because guess what? The Most High has control, not some deity that y'all come up with and draw hieroglyphics. That's cute. But the Most High is like, let me show you one even better. I'm going to cut your lights off for 3 days, right? Isaiah 13 and 10, it says, for the stars of heaven and the constellations, therefore, shall not give their light. The sun shall be darkened in his going forth, and the moon shall not cause her light to shine, right? And you can get the precept of that with Isaiah 24 and 23. But the Most High is the one that controls the stars of heaven, right? No light for y'all, right? Shalom, Trey. Good to see you, bro. Right? Says the stars of heaven, no light. So when you go out in those areas, like in the country, and all you can see is the stars out there, not even that, right? The sun shall be darkened, right? We just saw that with the total eclipse. Those who got a chance to witness that firsthand. Everybody was going crazy for it, right? But the Most High is like, this light work, right? The sun answers to me, right? The moon answers to me. If I want to put clouds in front of it, I'm going to do that. If I want to change the wind direction, I can do that. No other God can do that. Let me show you what my power's like, right? Hallelujah, Yahweh, right? And basically he said, the sun shall not cause our light to shine. If you've ever been in a situation where the moon wasn't out and you just out in the middle of nowhere and it's completely pitch black dark, man, in Florida, we had a situation that kind of felt like that after a hurricane came through that was bad enough to knock everybody's power out. So there were no street lights. You know what I'm saying? Let's say the moon wasn't out for whatever reason because it was cloud cover. You couldn't see nothing. You had to be out there with a flashlight. So trust me, when these situations happen, the Most High is like, yeah, I got a trick for you. How about I do this, right? Let me get Isaiah 45 and 7. We go with this precept here. Because clearly these heathens think that they can just do whatever. Sue says, oh, I'm a fortune teller. I can do this and that. No, you can't. Let's prove it. Isaiah 45 and 7, right? And it reads, I form the light and create darkness. I make peace and create evil. I thought God was all love. Oh, he's all good. He says, I make peace and create evil. So when these Christians try to tell you, right, because clearly they don't know the God that we serve, and they're surely not familiar with the God of the Bible, right? Because if they were, they would understand what was just read right there. He says, and create evil. I, the Lord, do all these things. He does all of these things, right? Why did that baby die? It was the will of the Lord. Why did that person get shot? Will of the Lord. Why did this happen? The will of the Lord, right? When the good things happen, oh, thank you, Lord, thank you, right? When the bad things happen, you still have to thank the Lord, right? I went to go try and get my driver's license turned over today, right? Oh, you ain't got this. So now since you ain't got this, you got to wait another 6 months for a driver's license, right? I see why so many people out here drive with no insurance and no driver's license out here in Texas. Because with that kind of foolishness, it's crazy. You can't go online and do it. You got to wait 4 to 6 months to go in the DMV. Then you got to wait once you get in there. It's a lot of waiting for what? It was never like that in Florida. But hey, that's their rules out here. Esau likes to play it close to the hip with the foolishness. That's fine. No problem, right? But guess what? The God I serve controls the sun, the moon, and the stars. Now I'm gonna get a precept for darkness because a lot of people think about darkness as I just can't see because it's dark outside. Well, let's get another precept for darkness, right? Because darkness also means wickedness, right? Because if the light means the law, statutes, and commandments, let's get a precept for darkness, right? Proverbs 2:13. Who leave the paths of righteousness, right? Say it again. Who leave the paths of uprightness to walk in the ways of darkness, who rejoice to do evil and delight in the frowardness of the wicked, right? It's showing you right there, darkness, right? That darkness that he gonna put on certain people, man, you do not want to be walking in that darkness. But in this scenario, what we're talking about, the Most High put the darkness to show his power. He gave a spiritual flex. Y'all can pray for this, y'all can pray for that, but I can make the sun go away. Which one of y'all books talk about that, right? As you have the so-called Salam Aleikums, right? They think that their scenario is the best, but where's the prophecy of their book? You can pray to Buddha all day. He out having a sandwich. He ain't worrying about that, right? You can pray to Krishna or Vishnu. They out there having an arm wrestling contest with all them arms they got, right? They don't have time to worry about that, right? They don't have the time. And another precept would be, to go with that at 2:13 would be Proverbs 4:19, where it says, the way of the wicked is as darkness. They know not at what they stumble. They stumbling, right? We got to make sure that we do what needs to be done to actually stay in the light of the Most High. Proverbs 6:23. For the commandment is a lamp, and the law is light, and reproofs of instruction are the way of life, right? That's why we need the laws. This is why we don't need to be walking in the darkness, right? We have to make sure we understand that we keep the law, statutes, commandments. We have to have full 100% trust in the Lord at all times. No matter if you can't see it, no matter if you don't understand it, no matter if you don't feel that you're good enough to do it, right? You got to shake them spirits of doubts and say, hey, the Most High need me frontline. I need to be 10 toes down. 10 toes, right? Let's keep going. I'm going to get Ezekiel 32:7 because we got to show all the times that the Most High has said, look, I cut your lights out. You blow your candle out, that's it, right? But he said, I'll cut your lights out, no problem, just to show you how powerful I am, right? Call Allah Yahweh. Ezekiel 32:7, and it says, and when I shall put thee out, I will cover the heaven and make the stars therefore dark. I will cover the sun with a cloud, and the moon shall not give light. Because the heathens get out here and say, oh my goodness, it's a blood moon, this, that, what. They sit and have, just like a dog will howl at the moon. these heathen dogs gonna howl at it. They're gonna howl at it. They're gonna want that. But the Most High showed us, I'm gonna give you darkness 3 days. Told the sun, you better not come out. The moon, you either. Stars, y'all go sit over there. Nothing, right? They can pray to their deities forever and ever. Guess what? Nothing's gonna happen. Nothing's. These are the plagues of a hardened heart. This nation has a hardened heart towards keeping the law, statutes, and commandments, or wanting our people, the so-called Negroes, the indigenous Latinos, Native Americans, to keep their heritage, right? All praises to the Most High that we get opportunity to keep Passover, man. The first Passover I ever kept out here was during the scamdemic, right? It was during that time, and we partied like it wasn't nothing going on, because really was it? Just because they said it was, right? Let's go back to Psalms 105. We're going to verse 29, right? Let's see what else the powerful Yahweh has done. He turned their waters into blood and slew their fish. Oh, he did, huh? Let's see it. So that was the Nile River. That was their main water source. The Most High said, I'm going to make an example, right? All of this stuff led us into Passover. So we had to, the Most High just went blow for blow against the Egyptians. Egyptians couldn't fight back. They was just getting hit. Like watching a Mike Tyson video with a person head just on the Bible. Bing, 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 bing. Just meat, right? Let's get Exodus 7 and 21. Let's get this account that David's referring to when he turned their waters into blood and slew their fish of the Nile River, right? Exodus 7 and 21. It says, and the fish that were in the river died, and the river stank, right? If y'all ever go by, I forgot the name of the little river or lake that's out here in Texas, and they were like, boy, you ride by that thing, but you got to roll your window up. Like Jerubbaal said, you got to put your hand over your cup. You know what I'm saying? Because it stinks that bad, right? Because he dried that, he turned that river into blood. Those fish died, right? So guess what? Food source gone, right? The fish now created a smell, right? So now that contaminated, toxic smell, right? Most High said, I'm bringing out biological warfare on them. I'm going to do that, right? And it says, and the Egyptians could not drink of the water of the river, and there was blood throughout all the lands of Egypt. And the magicians of Egypt did so with their enchantments. Most High like, yeah, come on, keep trying it. And the Pharaoh's heart was hardened. Neither did he hearken unto them as the Lord had said. So guess what? Moses went in there and said, hey, man, let our people go so we can serve our Lord in the wilderness, right? Guess what? The Pharaoh said, nah, I ain't doing none of that. But guess what? They told him up front, I'm going to harden their heart, right? So it was blood in the water throughout the land, right? Let's jump over to Psalm 78 and 44, right? The precept. 78 and 44 Psalms, and it reads, and had turned their rivers into blood and their floods that they could not drink, right? They couldn't drink anything out of that situation. But I'm going to tell you how the Most High took it up a step further to show their power. Go back to Exodus, right? And get 7, and we'll jump down to 19 to show you the Most High wasn't playing with these heathen. He's not playing with them, and he's not playing with them now, right? As much as they think, hey, guess what? They playing with it. No, Most High's not playing with it at all, right? The book of Exodus 7 and 19, right? And the Lord spake unto Moses, say unto Aaron, take thy rod and stretch out thy hand upon the waters of Egypt and upon their streams, upon their rivers, and upon their ponds, and upon all their pools of water, that they may become blood, and that there may be blood throughout all the land of Egypt, both in vessels of wood, right? So you thought you had some ice cold water in the refrigerator. Guess what? Ain't no refrigerators back there. But guess what? That wooden bucket that they be having, like they go down into the wells, blood, right? As well as the vessels of stone, blood. So no matter if you have water stored away, when you go in there to drink it, everything blood, bro. No matter where you got that water at, is blood, right? Yahweh. He turned that into blood. You can't have this. Y'all thought y'all was slick. You thought you was gonna get it, right? But they ain't do it. Now the Most High has turned the water into what would look like blood in other places through just the power of the Most High, right? He did it in New Dorp, Netherlands, right? Not to say it was actual blood, but it was completely red, where they say it was a phenomenon. That's the word they like to use. Now it's the Most High flexing, right? Another place was Bondi Beach, Australia. This happened. The Beirut River in Lebanon. Zhejiang province in China, their river, as well as Siwangala in Sri Lanka. All of those were turned into deep red where it looks like blood, right? We can look these things up. These were the plagues of a hardened heart, right? And as y'all come on in, like, share, subscribe. We're going to go back. We're going to go to the next plague. So we had the darkness, right? Then we had the waters turned into blood. Now, I'm not going in order, in case y'all wondering, am I going in order? No, I'm not going in order. Just basically just going with the flow of class. But these are the plagues. So we got darkness, we got blood. Now we're going to get a whole different scenario where a lot of people would have been freaked out about this situation here. Psalms 105 and 30. Their land brought forth frogs in abundance in the chambers of their kings, right? So what he ended up doing was he had frogs everywhere, right? Which in the Bible is also referenced to as unclean spirits. Let's get it real quick, right? But them frogs was all over the place. You try to lay down, ribbit. You wake up in the middle of the night, frog on your face, you know? Like how they show those skits of people that have roaches in their house. You wake up, roaches everywhere. You know, one might be ill, this, that. You got frogs everywhere in your home. If y'all ever seen the movie 10 Commandments or any of those types of movies where they show these plagues of Egypt, right? That thing was the worst. You step in, oh, frog here. Try to go to the bathroom, frog there. Try to eat your food, frogs there. Can't drink nothing because of water blood. You see what I'm saying? So it's like, well, what are you going to really do? You're in a situation where it's like, man, hey, but them people knew that the Pharaoh was over there tripping. Guess what? They probably had some words, but that ain't happen like that. Revelation 6 and 13 as a side note in regards to showing unclean spirits, right? And it says, and I saw 3 unclean spirits like frogs, right? And we get the precept for that in Acts. I'll get that in a second. Come out the mouth of the dragon, right? Out the mouth of the beast, and out the mouth of the false prophet. These scenarios show us how who's the dragon? Esau, he that red dragon, out of the mouth of the beast, right? His beast system. That's still more of these Edomite scenarios, as well as out of the mouth of the false prophet. They false prophesy all the time. We're going to shoot lasers in the sky, make it rain. Y'all, well, I tell you. Well, guess what? They got what they was looking for out there in Dubai, because guess what? They must be shot one good one up there, because, boy, it rained. It flooded them completely out in Dubai. The Most High not playing. But you think, oh, we the richest country in the world. We're this and that. Most High's like, yeah, now you're the wettest one. How about that? How you like that? Acts 19 and 16 is the precept to this Revelations that we're in. Grab that real quick. And it says, because what the frogs were symbolizing as in that passage I just read in Revelations was on how these evil spirits jump like that movie The Fallen with Denzel Washington. It was jumping from person to person, and how spirits can jump on us. Your child come home from school, they're mad, they're angry, right? Now that spirit jumped on the next child. Now the spirit done jumped on the wife. Now the wife spirit then jump on the husband. Now they all in the house. WrestleMania. Rage in the cage, right? Acts 19:60 says, the man in whom the evil spirit was leaped on them, right? And overcame them and prevailed against them. So they fled out of that house naked and wounded, right? This is where you had some of the vagabonds trying to go in there and try to talk big, like, oh, we chief priests, and we're this, and we come from this area, just talking really big, right? That spirit, like, I know Paul, right? But who are you? I know Hamashiach, but who are you? Let me show you who I am. And he got all over that, whooped them all in there. Bruce Lee them up in there, beat them like they were nothing, right? And they pray, and during this time where the frogs were brought forth, right? They were in Egypt, right? The Egyptians were praying to a frog god named Heka during that time, because they had deities for everything. Like I always said, we got an app for that. In Egypt, they got a god for that. They was praying to the frog god of Heka. And guess what? Heka was out to lunch, man. Heka couldn't do nothing at that point, because guess what? The Most High was in there, right? Let me get Psalms. Because the frogs was destroying everything. Frogs are disgusting. Because when you step on them and you kill them, now you got the smell of the dead fish and the bloody water. So now it stinks from that. Now you got the frogs drying up, right? That's another stench, right? Because it was dark for 3 days. So imagine you trying to figure out where these frogs are. They all over the place, just croaking, doing all of that. Shalom, shalom. Your dad quality, subscribe, hope to see more in time. And then it's Lamar Benton Judah, Shalom Lamar, right? We got classes every day, so you trying to see more? Trust me, you'll get what you're looking for. Thus said the Lord. Psalm 78:45. He sent diverse sorts of flies amongst them, which devoured them, and frogs which destroyed them. They destroyed it. I mean, it was the worst, because if you don't like frogs, or if your wife is terrified of frogs, you couldn't see nothing, couldn't drink nothing. You got the frogs all over the place with the way this stuff. Most High was tearing them behind up. They kept going back to the Pharaoh. Pharaoh kept like, nah. He go back to the Pharaoh. Yeah, I'm gonna let him go. Just make this go away. Psych, I ain't finna make it go away, because his heart was hardened. So you want to keep playing them games? Most High gonna keep bringing on the afflictions over and over, right? Let's go back. Psalms 105, right? You want to keep playing them? Most High like, oh, you want to play? No problem. Let's see how you like this. Let's see how you like when I put this on you, right? Pray to your guy Ramses for this. See what he gonna do for you, right? So he gave the frogs, right? But then we're gonna get what came during the frogs, right? Because the frogs and the flies were kind of at the same time. Psalms 105, right? And let's see here, verse 31. He spake, and there came diverse sorts of flies and lice in all their coasts. Now you got lice all over. Now you got flies. Now, when it comes to these fly situations, I'll show you how bad this got, because you think mosquitoes are bad or stuff like that. Flies are more aggravating than anything. You're trying to eat, that junk keep trying to fly around. It's going to land on your food like tag, 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 right? So let's go back, right? And we'll go to Exodus, and I'm going to jump up to verse 21 in chapter 8. So chapter 8, verse 21. Else, if thou wilt not let my people go, behold, I will send swarms of flies upon thee, and upon thy servants, and upon thy people into thy houses. And the houses of the Egyptians shall be full of swarms of flies, and also the ground whereon they are. If you ever seen like a dead carcass of an animal, right? If you ever seen a dead carcass of an animal and they got all, and you walk by it, and let's say you happen not to see it, you're not paying attention, all the flies swarm up. Or you seen those commercials with the Hamites, and it says for 25 cents a day you can feed this child, and they got flies all over them. Flies over there's so many flies they can just stand there. Flies in the corner of their eye, up their nose, and their mouth. They just sitting there looking destroyed. That's a visual right there. How those flies was all over everybody. You see what I'm saying? You swatting and stuff. It's a whole bunch of, or when it's about to rain and those gnats are out, and it's just a ton of them. You might be walking or running or doing something. You run through like a cloud of them things. You like, you spitting. Oh man, all these gnats, man, they all on your clothes, everything, right? And he said he's sending a swarm, right? And it says, and I will sever in that day the land of Goshen, in which my people dwell, that no swarm of flies shall be there, to the end thou mayest know that I am the Lord in the midst of the earth, right? And I will put a division between my people and thy people. Tomorrow shall this sign be. And the Lord did so, because he's not a man that he should lie, right? If he say you getting that swarm tomorrow, here come the swarm, right? I had to step away. No, it's all good, right? And it says, and the Lord did so, and there came a grievous swarm of flies into the house of Pharaoh, and into his servants' houses, and into all the land of Egypt, and the land was corrupted by the reason of the swarm of flies, right? What did Pharaoh do? Verse 25, and Pharaoh called for Moses and for Aaron and said, go ye sacrifice to your God in the land, right? He was playing these games, right? Because we jump down to 32, it says right here, and the Pharaoh hardened his heart at this time also, neither would he let the people go. He had all those swarms of flies in there, right? Now I want to go over something with you with these diverse, because when we just read in 78:45, he sent diverse sorts of flies, right? Bring it down. All praises, right? There's 124,000 diverse fly species, right? I had to look into this, right? So he said he brought diverse sorts of flies. You got blue bottle flies, right? You got fungus gnats. So, you know they was there because what happened? Dead fish in the bloody water, right? That had that smell. That started to create the flies from that, right? Then you got the dead frogs from people killing frogs and frogs being all over the place, right? And they want to try and get some flies. So now you got flies and frogs all over the place, the ones you ain't killed yet. So now that's another problem. They're dead. Now they're starting to leave a smell, right, from their carcasses. You got the fruit flies playing tag on your fruit, right, on your food. You got a regular house fly. You got a horse fly. You got cluster flies, drain flies. You got the blow fly, right? But the ones that people probably don't even think about is the biting flies, right? And they transmit diseases. So now you in there doing all this, smacking yourself down. Guess what? You getting bit up by the fly, and it's a swarm of these things, bro. You can't go to sleep. You can't eat nothing. You can't do nothing. You're just going through it. The Most High's like, yeah, you want to harden your heart? I got a trick for you, Pharaoh, right? You're going to submit to my will, right? This is what we tell our people. We have a God that's going to fight for us. Don't matter how many heathens out here doing the foolishness. And the lady thought it was cute today. Yeah, you don't have this. You can't get the ID. No problem, Imam. No problem. Because when the Most High put a monsoon through your country, I'm going to be like, all praises. All praises, yes. And have a strong drink, right? And they had a goddess of the flies named Uatchit, right? Spelled Uatchit, right? And I don't care if I'm not pronouncing it right because it don't exist anyway, because it didn't get none of them flies out of there, right? You can pray to all your magical deities, right? It's not going to do anything. The Most High is going to show his power, right? He's going to show it every single time he's going to go to bat. He's not going to miss, right? Now we got to go back into Exodus, because this is one of the worst ones on top of that. You got the flies, you got the frogs, right? Most High like, yeah, I don't think Pharaoh's getting it. Let me do something else for him. We go to Exodus 9, right? If y'all ever experienced this before, man, this is a painful aspect to go through. Exodus 9, verse 8, right? I'm going to start at verse 8. And the Lord said unto Moses and unto Aaron, take to you handfuls of ashes, right, of the furnace, and let Moses sprinkle it towards the heaven in the sight of the Pharaoh. So have Moses go out there and do the LeBron on him one time, right? And it shall become small dust in all the land of Egypt, and shall be a boil breaking forth with blains upon man and upon beasts throughout the land of Egypt, right? Who cares? Night witch. Well, the Most High said he's not going to suffer a witch to live, so this might be your last night. So I hope that those couple of key strokes that you put in was worth it, right? Because we serve a God that does not lie at all. So get in line for your affliction, right? Because maybe you'll go through this, and then you'll see how powerful the Most High is, right? And it says, he put this on man and beast throughout the land of Egypt. And they took ashes of the furnace and stood before Pharaoh. And Moses sprinkled it up towards heaven. And it became a boil breaking forth with blains upon man and upon beast. You can't ride your horse nowhere. It got boils all over it, breaking. Right? And if you ever had a boil break, or you ever had a boil before on you, and that thing breaks, man, that junk smells horrendous. So now you got the smell of the dead fish rotting. That stinks. You got the dead frogs that's dead. That stinks. You got the flies everywhere, right? You got the flies getting into the wounds of these boils that's breaking. You got all of this stuff going on, right? All of this stuff going on. The Most High said, yeah, he's going to have this on your beast. So now you got them on your feet. You can't walk nowhere. The babies crying. The people got them. They got them on their face. Like when they showed in the movie, them things was all over the people, right? Their horses were dying. Their animals were dying right in front of them from the boils, right? Destroying them right then and there. And it says, and the magicians could not stand before Moses because of the boils, for the boil was upon the magicians and upon all the Egyptians. And the Lord hardened the heart of the Pharaoh, and he hearkened not unto them, as the Lord has spoken unto Moses, right? These were the plagues of a hardened heart, right? But the Most High said, what, the boil's not good enough for you? Don't worry, let me go back. I got something even better. So not only is your cattle, your livestock that you can't eat now because they got boils all over it, right? And they breaking, so that's blood and pus everywhere, right? That junk is disgusting. The smell of it is disgusting. So you got the smell of that. You got the flies all in it. Now it's getting infected. You got the frogs. That's all over the place. You got the bloody fish, right? And the remnants of the bloody water, right? You got the lice. That's all in the people hair. Got to shave your head and stuff like that, so you can get boils all over it. You got the dust man, look here, bro. Most High, all praises for him taking these Egyptians through this, because they were going to find out today we serve a God that is all powerful. There's none more powerful than he, right? So it doesn't matter what a heathen dog will say, right? Don't wag your tongue, you're going to lose it. Let's go back. Psalms 105 and 32. He gave them hail for rain and flaming fire in their land. Let's see how he did that. Let's jump back over, because we're jumping back. We're going back to Exodus 9, right? Because this was an account that David was given in regards to the mercy and the power and the glory that the Most High showed when he got us out of Egypt, right? We go into Exodus 9. We're going to jump up to 22, but 23 is the point, right? I'm going to go ahead and get that. It says, and Moses stretched forth his rod towards heaven, and the Lord sent thunder and hail, and the fire ran along upon the ground, and the Lord rained hail upon the land of Egypt. There was hail and fire mingled with the hail, right? Very grievous, such as there was none like it in all the land of Egypt since it became a nation. The Most High said, I'm going to give you not only hail, right? Not only fire, but I'm going to mingle that together, right? I'm going to remix it. I'm going to give you something you've never seen that most people would think is not even scientifically possible, right? He said the hail and the fire mingled with the hail, very grievous, right? And the fire running on the ground, you got lightning striking everywhere. Trust me, right? And it says, verse 25, and the hail smote throughout all the land of Egypt, all that was in the field. So your animals out there on their last leg anyway with these boils, right? You got boils all on your body, so you can't go out there and tend to them, right? Egyptians. You got the frogs still everywhere. The gnats are following you around. The flies trying to lick your wounds and stuff. Well, you still got the stinky bloody fish too, right? Still got that going on. And it says, and the hail smote throughout the land of Egypt, all that was in the field, both man and beast. So you was getting people out there trying to get their animals right in the back of the head with a big old hail the size of a soccer ball with a little bit of fire mingled in it, right? All praises to Yahweh for his power, right? And it says, and the hail smote every herb of the field and break every tree of the field. He was destroying everything. So if you thought that you had your tomatoes or your cucumbers or whatever they was growing, right? Guess what? Not anymore, because now you got the hail the size of a baby's head dropping down with fire on it. The ground on fire. You got lightning going on. You got hail going on. All hell breaking loose at this point, right? And it says, only in the land of Goshen, where the children of Israel were, there was no hell, right? And now look, Pharaoh playing these games, right? And it says, and Pharaoh sent and called for Moses and Aaron and said unto them, I have sinned this time. The Lord is righteous, and I and my people are wicked, right? Entreat the Lord, for it is enough that there be no more mighty thunderings in hell, and I will let you go, and ye shall stay no longer, right? You thought Pharaoh was going to do what he was supposed to do, but he didn't, right? Yeah. Keep on. I'm not even paying y'all no attention because there's too much important precepts coming out. I let the chat have it, right? Usually I got time for it, but today I'm staying on point. And it says here, and Moses went out of the city, right? I'm gonna jump down to 33. In front of Pharaoh and spread abroad his hands into the Lord, and the thunders and the hail ceased, and the rain was not poured upon the earth. And when the Pharaoh saw that the rain and the hail and the thunders were ceased, he sinned yet more and hardened his heart, he and his servants, right? Can't trust these heathens, man. They say they're gonna do one thing, they're not gonna do it, right? They're not gonna do it. Here they are, they giving the sacrifices of fools in the chat, boy, I tell you. It's all right. So he sent the hail and the fire upon Egypt, as we just read, right? Let's go back to Psalms 78. It's still on point. All right. See, they get to trying to change the subject, trying to change the channel when they see and they get worried like, oh, all of this stuff can still happen. Psalm 78:47. And it says, he destroyed their vines with hail and their sycamore trees with frost. He gave up their cattle also to the hail and their flocks to hot thunderbolts. So you out there talking about, oh, the sheep are out there by the... Not anymore. Cotton everywhere. You know, got sheep running around on fire. Your cattle's getting in the head with ice, killing them. But they got the boils on them. Can't eat it anyway, right? Can't eat it anyway, right? At that point, the Most High's like, I'm going to show you. I'm not playing. I'm hitting your trees. I'm hitting your crops. I'm hitting your vines. I'm hitting your vineyards, right? He's like, I'm not playing with y'all. You want to play games? Okay. Oh, I've sinned. Oh, forgive me. Don't Esau love to do that? Love to do that, right? Erexby. Oh, so I guess Paul is more than what Christ is then, right? You worship Paul, Rexby. Well, unfortunately, y'all heathens don't know the Bible. Y'all never call on God. Y'all can't even serve the Most High, nor do you know the law, statutes, and commandments. So when y'all come on here and give your sacrifice of fools, every vain word. So now you just set a reservation. Deuteronomy 30 and 19. Angels writing that down. So make sure you keep that. Keep that same energy, because you're going to have to answer for that. He smote their vines also and their fig trees and break the trees of their coasts. He started to create a famine by doing this, right? He started creating a famine at this point. He's killing everything, right? He's killing everything moving around. He breaking their trees, everything. So now they ain't got no shade. Your cattle dead. I don't know how you get fish, right? Frogs still everywhere. The flies ain't gone nowhere yet, right? Let's jump over to Exodus 10 and 5. And it says, and they shall cover the face of the earth, that one cannot be able to see the earth, right? And they shall eat the residue of that which is escaped, which remaineth unto you from the hail, and shall eat every tree which groweth for you out of the field, right? What was he talking about with that? Oh, I guess they didn't know what came next. 35, right? And did eat up all the herbs in their land and devoured the fruit of their ground. So they're probably saying, well, what came and did all of this, right? What came and broke the trees and smoked the front? The ice did this, but what else came and ate up everything? Let's see. Exodus 10, we're going to 14, right? It says, and the locusts went up over all the land of Egypt and rested in all the coasts of Egypt. Very grievous were they, right? Before them there were no such locusts, as they neither after them shall be such. For they covered the face of the whole earth, so that the land was darkened, and they did eat every herb of the land, and all the fruit of the trees which the hail had left, right? And there remained not any green thing in the trees or in the herbs of the field through all the land of Egypt, right? So those locusts said, you know what? Most I put on their spirit, they eat everything left. That's what they're going to do. They're going to eat everything left. So like we just read here in 10 and 5, right, where it says, they shall cover the face of the earth. These are the locusts, that one cannot be able to see the earth. You saw, okay, you got the flies all over the place, all the different types of flies, right? You got the locusts all over, and I don't like locusts or grasshoppers, right? So that's a whole different ballgame, right? You got the dead frogs. You got dead cattle all over the place. You still got boils broken, so you can barely walk, barely move around. You bleeding, you stinking, and they still got the stinky fish. And probably still some blood in the water, right? They still got all of these things going. You would think the Pharaoh would be smart enough, right, to actually do it. Nope, he wasn't. The Most High said, I have to crush them into submission, right? Because when you think about it right now, they said there's going to be 1 million cicadas. They eat oak, right? Maple trees. They eat your gardens. They eat cherry trees and hawthorn trees. They said these cicadas, it's supposed to be 1 trillion of them. They said it's supposed to be so many of them that it could stretch from the moon 33 times. This is what Esau saying, right? I'm not saying poor more than Christ. Again, you have to understand there's a pecking order. Yahweh Shai, man, woman, child, right? When Paul can even say himself, so to put Paul on the same level as Christ, yes, he taught the people. Yes, he has something to do, but you got to remember, with much given, much is required. Paul was a Pharisee. He was supposed to do what he needed to do, but he didn't do that. So the Most High had to blind him for 3 days. He had to send him on a journey. He was beaten. He was shipwrecked, in prison, right? Do you understand symbolic? Do you understand it, right? He was actually stoned to death. Most High said, no. You coming back to life, you got more work to do, right? Had to deal with pain in his side, right? Where he considered a thorn. And Most High told him, my grace is sufficient, right? He had work to do. You don't think you have to pay for your deeds as a child of Israel? He watched Stephen get stoned. They put his clothes at Paul's feet, right? But again, this is what happens when you allow heathens to touch something that don't belong to you. They do not believe in the Bible at all because they support the deletion of children inside of a human with no problem. They endorse the remixing of male and female genitalia. They endorse the actual destruction of those who have done nothing wrong through their court systems. But again, you say that you know God, right? Clearly you don't, right? Let's keep going. These cicadas about to be all over the place in certain areas, right? The Most High can bring these plagues back however he wants, whenever he pleases, right? Lightning striking, hail, there's a lot of times where they say it's golf ball size hail. You get enough of that, the cars are torn up, they destroy it, right? He can put boils all over people's body, right? He can actually do any of these things at any time, whenever he wants to. But guess what? People going to keep mocking. People going to keep scoffing. You guys this, you guys that. When you go on the page, what's on the page? Video games, folly, no Bibles being read, no one going out to the street to try and save anybody, right? Just let me come on here and actually scoff. Scoff. That's it. That's it, right? We're going to keep going on because clearly the Most High hasn't taken enough from y'all, right? A lot of y'all Edomites can't even bring forth children. So y'all have these actual, I like to call them a pregnancy plant because even then their children come out syndromic, right? These are the situations that they go through, right? Let's get this 105 and 36. And he smoked, because we got the locusts, they ate up everything that was left. So we're going to go back. The locusts came after the hail, right? The hail destroyed the trees, the vineyards, the crops, right? Destroyed the animals that wasn't already there from the boils, which previously came that was all over man and foot, right? So once all those things were destroyed, he says, I'm going to send the locusts, right? And the caterpillars, right? That's what he went ahead and sent forth. Because when you read it, verse 34, 105, it says, he spake and the locusts came, and caterpillars, and that without number. So it was so many of them, it was without number, right? And it says, and did eat up all the herbs in the land and devoured the fruit of the ground. Everything that was left that the Most High did not destroy, he left that little bit of stuff just to give the Egyptians a little hope, right? I'm not gonna let them starve out. I'm gonna let them have a little something left to munch on, right? But 27 cents a day couldn't save none of them heathens, right? But guess what? The Most High said, I don't think they got it yet. I don't think they understand, because I done took everything from them. But the Pharaoh still wants to keep playing, right? Let's find out what happened next. Psalms 105 and 36. He also smote all the firstborn in their land, the chief of all their strength, right? Let's go ahead and get it, right? Exodus, we're going to go back to Exodus 4 and 23. Matter of fact, I'm going to get 21, right? It said, and the Lord said unto Moses, when thou goest to return into Egypt, see that thou do all these wonders, or those wonders before Pharaoh, which I have put in thy hand. But I will harden his heart, that he shall not let the people go. And thou shalt say unto Pharaoh, thus say the Lord, Israel is my son, even my firstborn. Verse 23 is the point, right? And I say unto thee, let my son go, that he may serve me. And if thou refuse to let him go, behold, I will slay thy son, even thy firstborn, right? So now Most High says, you want to play? Don't worry. I got something to play, right? I'll take your firstborn. So I guess Pharaoh thought it was a joke, right? Because his heart was hardened, right? He wasn't thinking right. Maybe his crown was on a little too tight, right? Exodus 12, right? Matter of fact, I'm going to get yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and get Exodus 12 and 12. Do I want that yet? Because I mean, he already threatened them. So let's go ahead and get it anyway. Exodus 12 and 12. For I will pass through the land of Egypt this night, and will smite all the firstborn in the land of Egypt, both man and beast. So whatever beast wasn't dead, whatever man wasn't dead after the hail, the fire, the locusts, the flies, the lice, the frogs, the dead fish, the bloody water, being in darkness for 3 days, right? It just wasn't making enough sense to the Pharaoh, right? Let's keep going. He says, and against all the gods of Egypt I will execute judgment. I am the Lord. And the blood shall be to you for a token upon the houses where ye are. And when I see the blood, I will pass over you, and plague shall not be upon you to destroy you when I smite the land of Egypt. This is where the Passover came from. He was going to pass over and not put those curses on us, right? So now, since we're here, let's get a little bit of etiquette for the Passover, right? And it says, speak ye unto the congregation of Israel, saying, I jumped up to verse 3, and we're still in 12. Speak unto all the congregation of Israel, saying, in the 10th day of his month, they shall take to them every man a lamb according to the house of their fathers, a lamb for an house, right? And if the household be too little for the lamb, let him and his neighbor next to his house take it according to the number of the souls. Every man according to his eating shall make your count for the lamb. Your lamb shall be without blemish, a male of the first year. He wants our first fruits. He wants our best, without blemish, without mark. You shall take it out from the sheep or from the goats. Ye shall keep it up until the 14th day of the same month. This is when we were given the sacrificial law, right? And the whole assembly of the congregation of Israel shall kill it in the evening, right? And they shall take take of the blood and strike it on the two side posts and on the upper doorposts of the house, wherein they shall eat it, right? And they shall eat the flesh in that night, roast with fire and unleavened bread, and with bitter herbs they shall eat it, right? The bitter herbs was to be a symbolism of the bitterness in which we went through dealing with the Egyptians. You get that right here in Exodus 1, I think verse 12 and 13, right? Or 13 and 14. And it says, Exodus 13 and 14, it says, and the Egyptians made the children of Israel to serve with rigor, and they made their lives bitter with hard bondage, in mortar and in brick, and all manner of service in the field. All their service, wherein they made them serve, was with rigor, right? So this is what we ate the bitter herbs for in regards to it. The unleavened bread was because we didn't have the opportunity to even allow the leaven to get in our bread because we had to go. When it was time, when the Pharaoh said, hey, go, bless me too on the way out, but go, y'all got to get out of here, bro. This is too much. After they killed the firstborn, he was like, all right, that's it. It's too much. I can't do it. You got me boiled out. Then killed all my animals. I don't know how all my animals get killed and none of y'all's get killed from the fire, from the lightning, from the hail. Where the flies are still here, they're not in your land. This is crazy. Wherever we go, the flies follow us. Frogs still probably hopping around. Dead bodies from the frogs. You got your dead fish. You still got the little taste of blood in the water, right? You got the lice going on. You got all these things going on. You got the locusts still all over the place, right? Trust me, caterpillars everywhere eating everything. So you man, look, the worst affliction you ever want, right? The worst affliction you ever want. This is why we eat the bitter herbs, right? It says, eat not of it raw. Esau like to eat that raw food, man. Oh, let's go get some sushi. Medium rare, want to see the blood in it, right? Not supposed to even eat the blood. It says, eat it not raw, nor sodden at all with water, but roast with fire his head with his legs and the puritance thereof, right? You can get that also in Exodus 12 and 46. A precept for that. And ye shall let nothing of it remain until morning, and that which remaineth of it until morning ye shall burn with fire, and thus shall ye eat it, with your loins girded, your shoes on your feet, and your staff in your hand, and ye shall eat it in haste. It is the Lord's Passover, right? And we read 12 and 13, but I'm going to read it again. For I will pass through the land of Egypt this night. The Most High was getting them ready. We about to move, right? And will smite all the firstborn in the land of Egypt, both man and beast. And against all the gods of Egypt I will execute judgments. I am the Lord. And the blood shall be on you, shall be to you for a token upon the houses where ye are. And when I see the blood, I will pass over you. This is where we get the word Passover, right? And the plague shall not be upon you to destroy you when I smite the land of Egypt. And this day shall be unto you for a memorial, and ye shall keep it a feast to the Lord throughout your generations. Ye shall keep it a feast by an ordinance forever. 7 days shall ye eat unleavened bread. Even the first day ye shall put away leaven out of your houses. For whosoever eateth leavened bread from the first day until the seventh day, that soul shall be cut off from Israel. The first day there shall be an holy convocation. We finna meet up for that Passover. That's that holy convocation. And in the seventh day there shall be a holy convocation to you, right? No manner of work shall be done in them, save that which every man must eat, that only may be done of you. And ye shall observe the feast of unleavened bread, for it is this selfsame day have I brought your armies out of the land of Egypt. Therefore shall ye observe this day in your generations by an ordinance forever. No leaven in your house, put it out. Look for the baking soda in the water. All the things that they try to put into this food, that should have already been on top of that. Should have been already on top of that, right? Oh, let me see if there's anything else. Let me jump over to Ezra real quick. Because guess what? We're in captivity now, keeping Passover. And guess what? They kept the Passover in captivity then, right? Because guess what? They're going to act like you can't keep it. Oh, you can't do this and that, right? You can do a righteous rehearsal. But guess what? These heathens going to say, oh, no, you're not even this or that. That's how they love to do it, right? Let's see here. Now, this is when the temple was finished, right? Because we built the temple, right? This was under King Darius. So that temple ended up getting built, right? So I'm gonna jump to Ezra 6 and 16, and it says, and the children of Israel, the priests and the Levites, and the rest of the children of the captivity kept the dedication of this house of God with joy, and offer at the dedication of this house of God 100 bullocks, 200 rams, 400 lambs, and for a sin offering for all Israel, 12 he-goats according to the number of the 12 tribes of Israel. And they set the priests in their divisions and the Levites in their courses for the service of God, right? Which is at Jerusalem, as it is written in the book of Moses. And the children of the captivity kept the Passover upon the 14th day of the first month, right? These things were kept, right? These things were kept. We have to keep these things, right? Because when we're not keeping these things, you're not doing what the Most High said for generation to generation to generation. We were commanded to do it, right? We were commanded to do it. So, as we've seen the plagues of the hardened heart, right? Moses was sent with Aaron, right? To make sure they shoot the signs and the great wonders of the Most High. They knew that the Pharaoh's heart was going to be hardened, right? But they wanted the world to see, right? The Most High wanted the world to see the great wonders and his power and glory, right? He set darkness on them for 3 days, right? Sun couldn't come out. Moon wasn't going to come out because the sun wasn't out. Neither was the stars, right? He had none of that coming, right? Like Job 9 and 7 say, which commandeth the sun, and it is risen not, and sealeth up the stars. Most I said, none of that's happening, None of that. He said he would cover heaven and make the stars thereof dark, and shall cover the sun with a cloud, and the moon shall not give her light. That was in Ezekiel 30:27, right? He did this. Pharaoh still ain't get it, right? He turned the waters into blood. The Nile River, everything. Even when people had water stored away in buckets and in stone cubuses, all of that was blood. No matter where you thought you had some water at to go sip on, nothing but blood, nothing but red Kool-Aid, right? That was it. Most I said, I'm going to make the fish die and stink. You know how much they ate fish over there, right? They prayed to the fish god. Fish god was out fishing, wasn't nowhere to be found, right? He brought the frogs upon the land, right? They did abundance of damage all over the place, right? And they're tearing up things. They hopping on this and that. They driving the women crazy. They tearing stuff off, ripping stuff out, right? They was praying to their frog god. He couldn't hear them at all. And these were the frogs which were destroying them, right? Then he sent a diverse level of flies and lice on all their coasts. So you thought you was gonna get away? You had 124,000 species of flies and lice out there, right? You had the blue bottle, the fungus gnats, the fruit fly, house fly, cluster fly, drain, the blowfly, and of course he had to send those biting flies, which transmit diseases, right? Then from after that, here comes the boils, right? So you're getting bit and infected. Now he said, I'm gonna put the boils top of your head, back of your neck, under your arm, between your fingers, on your face, in your mouth, right? Probably in your backside, under your genitalia, on your genitalia, right? On the bottom of your feet, in the creases of like the back of your kneecap or your arms and stuff. You couldn't lay down. Them things was breaking and busting. Open sores smelled like disgusting death. Couldn't go jump in the water. It had the blood in it, right? What you gonna do? Most times, hey, guess what? The Pharaoh's like, oh, my bad. I'm sorry. This, that. This is how Esau plays his game. Oh, I'm sorry. Forgive me. Hey, yeah, let me take slavery out the history books. Maybe I won't remember that. Maybe God will forget to punish me for that, right? Let me take this away. Let me take away what I've done to the indigenous Latinos and the Native Americans, right? These are the scenarios that the Pharaoh brought upon his people, because guess what? He had the plagues of a hardened heart. He had the worst plague of all, right? Then the Most High said, you know what? The boils ain't enough. It's still not getting it down there. Here comes the hail. I'm going to let this rain, hail, and fire. So lightning, fire, hail, right? Fire on the ground. Every sheep and cattle and man, woman that was getting hit with lightning, right? Getting hit with hail. So you might get hit in the head with the hail, and then here come the lightning. So you're getting two-piece, right? Then some of the hail he had coming down that was mingled with the fire, right? You get hit with that. Now you got the icy hot. That's the real icy hot right there. Real icy hot. Then it was tearing up their vines, so they had all their beautiful vineyards, they thought. Their trees, sycamore trees, and things all on the coast, because, you know, they thought they had everything the most beautiful because they was a powerful nation. Most I said, no. We shooting from 3. We shooting from the logo. And they iced them out for real. They burned them actually real, right? These things happen up and down the coast. And the Most I said, they still not getting it, because Pharaoh was like, oh, I'm sorry. Ask God to stop it. Moses went out there. God's like, all right. Now I'm going to harden his heart again. Locusts came with the caterpillars. So he's like, now I'm going to have so many locusts, it's going to make it dark again. You got the dead frogs. You got the flies. You're still dealing with your boils on you and the beast that wasn't struck to death, because you may have had animals get struck by lightning, caught on fire, and still live. It was just out there making a bunch of noise and pain. Couldn't even sleep at night. The people, oh, I got the boils on me. I got struck by lightning, but I'm still alive. Yeah, you're going through it, because guess what? The Most High says he's going to punish this wicked nation. And this wicked nation is going to be punished as well. Esau's going through it, right? They ate every herb of the land. They ate every fruit on the tree that the hell didn't destroy, that the fire didn't burn up. And Most High said, I'm going to keep bringing this. They still don't get it? Okay. You won't let my firstborn go? I'm going to kill each and every one of your firstborn in the land. See if I'm playing with you. And guess what? The Pharaoh messed around and he found out. That was probably a wail, and they wailed in unison like the Mississippi Baptist choir. Well, everybody just probably woke up and it was all over Egypt. Sound like a wailing, like the wailing wall. It sounded like that. But the Most High said, I'm not playing with you. And he told us what to do, but guess what? He tells a lot of us what to do now, but a lot of our people don't take heed to the laws of the Most High. 2/3 not going to make it, right? Think about how many people say, I'm not going to go get no lamb, no Passover. I'm not going to do this, right? They was either slack, didn't do it, lazy, put it off too long, couldn't get the lamb, couldn't get one, right? They didn't have no blood on their door. Did the Most High maybe punish them as well for those being disobedient? Gotta think about it. How many of our people in the truth now that's disobedient? You think they're not going to get punished, right? People out there eating leavened bread during Passover. Man, I'm still going to eat this hamburger. I'm still going to have this ham sandwich. Ham sandwich, bro, what do you do? You can't eat that one. It will be my last one. No, you're right. Most time may just go ahead and cut your lights out, blow your candles out, right? Blow your candles out. That's why he said you put this blood on the doorsteps. I mean on the posts at the top, on the sides. Guess what? I'll spare you. I'll pass over it for your obedience, right? We kept it in captivity and was able to do it. We was under Persian under King Darius, but now well, our people don't feel like they got to keep Passover. I'm gonna keep Easter. Look at all the actual laser tag, lead laser tag that's played on Easter, right? Be a lot of lead showers going on, right? All over the place. People don't think about that. Same thing on Christmas. Same thing on Thanksgiving. Most I send destruction. A lot of strays falling out the sky during so-called New Year's when y'all out there praising the deity Janus, right? The two-faced God that don't exist. People need to wake up and understand this is part of our culture and our heritage. If you are a Negro, Latino, Native American, our things have been kept. When the Native Americans kept the Green Corn Festival, that was Passover. Abib means ear of corn, right? Our people have been keeping the Passover. Little do they know, they may have called it different things. But we need to get back to being on one accord with the Lord, man. Because when he bring the punishment upon this nation and upon this planet, you got to hope that you got the blood on the doorposts, that you've done what he said do, that you've kept enough laws, statutes, and commandments, that you are obedient enough, diligent enough, being real wives to your husband, real husband to your wives, obedient children to your parents. We have to make sure we've done enough, and you have to keep going. You can't be like, well, I'm not going to keep it because of X, Y, Z. Don't play with it, man. This is why the Most High said this is a holy convocation. Gather together so you ain't got no excuses. If your house not big enough, go to your neighbors. Y'all get a lamb enough for y'all to eat together. Get the bitter herbs, get the unleavened bread, and do this. He's not asking you to do something hard. He didn't say go shoot a golden eagle out of the sky. Make sure when it hits the ground, it lands on its left wing. Take its right foot and put a bone through the beak of the mouth. He ain't asking you to do something intricate like that. He's saying do this, this, and this. Get the lamb. Make sure it doesn't have this, that, and third on it. Eat it. No leftovers. Whatever leftovers, burn that. Got to burn the entrails. Got to get rid of that stuff as well. He only wants the best. He wants those scenarios, right? He's not telling us, hey, you got to make a sacrifice, right? He's telling us to make sure that we keep this ordinance, this commandment throughout our generations. All we had to do is just keep it, right? When he told them, hey, take the bones with y'all, all they had to do was take the bones. But sometimes it's too heavy for people, right? Here at the Battle Axes of the Most High, we always stand on commandments. We always ensure that we tell our people, our brethren, right? Our sister, keep the law, statutes, and commandments, right? I'm going to go ahead and get Deuteronomy 16 and 17, right? Because if you're not doing this or you did not know this, I want to make sure that going forward, you know that I pray y'all been going through your cabinets and y'all have been getting those things out of there that is leavened. And if you're not sure, Google it, right? You got concerns about it, the Lord gave it to you, he can give you some more, right? He wants your obedience versus sacrifice, man. Deuteronomy 16 and 16, it says, 3 times in a year shall all thy males appear before the Lord thy God in the place which he shall choose, in the feast of unleavened bread, right? Passover, right? And in the feast of weeks, first fruits, right? And in the feast of tabernacles, get your tent up, going back into the wilderness, right? Got to get prepared. He says, and they shall not appear before the Lord empty. Better not show up empty. Most High gave your lungs a full lung of air. He didn't give you an empty lung today, did he? Did he give you empty eye sockets, right? Did he give you an empty body? No. He said, you bet not show up empty before the Lord, right? And it says, every man shall give as he is able, according to the blessing of the Lord thy God, which have given thee, right? This is something that's really important. We should always rejoice and do these things with diligence, joyfulness, and glee. Always. And when you're not doing that, you remember what happened in 28 Deuteronomy. Because we did not serve with the joyfulness and glee, we had to serve our wicked adversaries. The Edomites, the Elamites, the Hamites, the Moabites, the Amorites, right? If I forgot any, throw it in the chat. I think I said them all. And the Ishmaelites, never looking at. But I pray that this class is edifying and that we are able to take great joyfulness in knowing that the Most High plagued the heart of the Pharaoh, and he'll do it again. He'll harden their hearts, and that we're able to endure, because as you've seen through each and every plague, the Most High kept us separated, kept us holy. We didn't see no flies, right? We didn't see, man, we was out there probably just eating fruit, just watching them. Like, dang, but Lord done struck 3 of their sheep at the same time. Yes, Kwam Yasharala, right? Kahala Yahweh Bahashim Mashak Yahweh Shah Barakatah Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shah Barakatah Yasharala Barakatah Akim Wa Akhwatim, right? It was out there enjoying that. Dang, did you see that fire ice hit Buddy right in the, oh man. It was before the TikTok. It was before being able to record it. It was out there having a good time, right? Egypt was going viral in front of the children of Israel, right? This is why the Most High always says, I took thee out of the land of Egypt. Bro, if y'all don't remember all this stuff I did for y'all, man, it's sad for those who are Israelites or even those who will say, that's not me. You playing with the Lord that can do anything, right? You get one little boil on your body and it smell up on you. That's painful enough. They had it head to toe. They animals got it, right? They had a bird in there in the bird cage, bird got boils. They had fish, the fish had boils, right? All they sheep, they cattle, they couldn't even eat that because the boils was breaking. Smelled like, ugh. You got dead frogs all over the place. The frogs, dead like a mug, right? Yeah, they stay coming to start. Hey, stay scoffing. It's okay. It's okay. Because guess what? Most High gonna blow them candles out. They gonna really have eternal darkness at that point, like no other, right? They love to scoff, but guess what? They have the plagues of a hardened heart, and they gonna pay for that, right? When the Lord send them locusts to eat up all the fruits of their works, right? When he has the diverse flies all over them, all over the place, and they mind is smitten with madness, right? When he has them being rained upon with hail, problem after problem after problem, lightning bolt of judgment, right? That kid outside swinging on the swing, you just say, wah! It was a cloud. It wasn't a cloud in the sky. Little Sarah got struck on the swings. Yeah, extra crispy, right? Extra crispy, right? That's how they leave them. But we're gonna keep thanking the Most High. We will be having the beginning of our Passover on, I believe it's Saturday night going to Sunday. It'll be the 22nd. That's when we starting ours out. If you would like the fellowship, please reach out. Do you wash off the lamb blood after the Passover? Good question. Scriptures never made reference to it, because if you remember how things went, we put the blood posts on our doors. He passed over, and the Pharaoh's like, man, y'all gotta get out of here, man. I'm done with y'all. Y'all gotta get out of here. So they probably didn't wash it off. They left it there. Because after seeing what the Most High did, would you have washed off the blood off your blood post? I know I wouldn't have washed mine off. Because you never know. He may want to spin the block and come back. Now you got to try and find another goat to put some more blood up there. I mean, not another goat, Salakia. Another lamb to put some blood up there. And that may not have been something that you were able to get at that problem. That had the no blemish and stuff. So I would believe rather than assume that they left the blood up there, because what was the point of taking it down if you're showing your obedience? I wouldn't want the Lord to spin the block on me and say, you know what? I killed the firstborn, but you know what? Now I'm going to kill this. That blood better still be up there. Now you're looking crazy. What you going to do? Scrape the blood off your neighbor door? So, I would believe that it was probably still up there, right? I wouldn't have washed it off, right? We don't want to wash the blood of the Lord off of our earthly temples, right? We want to make sure we keep the actual blood, which is the law, statutes, and commandments, right? Them 3 posts: laws, statutes, commandments. We want to keep that blood on you at all times. You want to keep that walk sanctioned in the pleasure of making sure that the Most High is happy with what you are doing, right? That was a great question. I mean, they kept that Passover in Persian Mede captivity. So there's no reason we cannot keep it in Most High will, the last captivity of our people, man. Get y'all some lamb, go to the store, right? When people get they tax refunds and things of that nature, put away a Passover fund. Say, you know what? I'm gonna get me some lamb, even if you have to go to a butcher and get your lamb. Okay, you got your lamb. Get your bitter herbs, right? You want to have those on there. It's not going to taste good, but guess what? You got to remember the bitterness that our ancestors went through, and get you some unleavened bread, right? I don't care if you go online and you try to make the unleavened bread and it's not at its best. You keep practicing, you keep trying. That's what my wife did. She did it the first time. She's like, yeah, this ain't really that hard. Okay. She said, why so flat to the plan? Maybe somebody slammed the door in the house. You know, that's how your mom should tell you back in the day. Don't slam the door when we're baking and make your cake fall, right? But over the years of her being obedient and doing it, right, we watched her grow. She made some unleavened bread the other day that's so good. I told her, I said, you couldn't have made this. Most I must have sent the angels down there in the kitchen when you went to sleep and made that bread. But no, all praise to the Most High made our hands willing, and he's increased our skills over the year. And hopefully we're able to share some of that unleavened bread from the house of Ehud with the congregation. Again, we're going into this evening's class. A powerful soldier, Donovan, and Rajatat. I think Rajatat did last week, so I believe it's on Donovan this week. right? We had powerful classes all week long, right? I don't believe we had class yesterday, but all praises for the opportunities that the Most High has given us. We had a great Q&A on Sunday with Captain Benaniyah. A great class going into Passover, with the Q&A, and as well on Monday going into the Passover, the Most High required those firstborn, right? He requires our first, right? That was class on Monday. Tuesday, we had a Raw True Tuesday, right? With Officer Yaakov. Wednesday, we had a great class with Captain Benaniyah, right? So every day we had class. Captain Yard supposed to get class yesterday. Not sure what happened, but it's okay. He gonna be still coming back stronger than ever. So y'all stay tuned for that, right? He'll definitely be here on the Sabbath, most high willing, with the other captains, bringing out a great class, making great points, having precepts. Trust me, you don't want to miss it, right? And going into your Sabbath, you have Soldier Donovan, Soldier Rajatop, bringing forth a powerful class. Me on Friday mornings, by the grace and power of the Most High, I bring forth my offering of Reverend Friday, right? They have First Works Friday during the evening going into the Shabbat, right? And then class tomorrow for the Shabbat class, right? And Most High willing, we'll be able to go out to the streets tomorrow and feed the sheep as instructed. The Most High hold back that rain because he's able to do what he has pleasure in doing, right? So if he allows us to go, Kal Halal Yahweh. If he holds us back with the rain, Kal Halal Yahweh, right? And with that, I am Soldier E. Hood, Banya Sharala of the Battle Axes of the Most High. This has again been a Fervent Friday, right? Kal Halal Yahweh, Bahashima Mashiach Yahweh Barakatah. Akim, Wa Akwatim, Wa Yasharala, Barakatah, Yahweh, Wa Yahweh Shah.